Hi there and welcome. I'm happy to invite you to today's class called Power of Breath, inspired in large part by the work of Clara Robert Oss. And so for today's class, you might want to have a block or perhaps a blanket, something you could prop yourself up on to get a little bit more height when you sit. And we'll start today's class with a brief relaxation, resting on the floor. So take your time to get settled. If you notice any discomfort in your back, you could just bend your knees at any time in our class today. And if it feels good, stretch your legs out long with your arms by your side. And release anything you don't need in order to allow yourself to be fully here. Let's begin by noticing how you feel in your resting pose here. Listening to your body and making any modifications, any adjustments that you feel serve you best. And once you've noticed how you feel in this pose, begin to notice your natural breathing. Always breathing in through the nose whenever possible. And if it feels good, breathing out through the nose or the mouth. Sometimes a nice way to release extra heat and tension with a big sigh and a full breath out. And then after you take the time to notice your natural breathing, without trying to change or control anything, just notice, once again, anything you can notice in your physical body, and allow yourself to feel whatever it is you feel. Let's see if we can take this awareness a little bit more inwards and soften any deep-seated tension by briefly using the muscles to engage and then release. So we'll start with the lower body. When you're ready, you can push your seat down into the ground and inhale. Lift your legs, stretch them long. Pull the belly in as you strengthen your whole leg. Exhale, and then completely release any tension, any holding. We'll try that with the upper body, using our arms now. So you can make a fist with your hand, and then on an inhale, push your forearms into the ground to lift your chest. If it feels better, keep your head on the ground, but lift your heart with your breath, and exhale, release. Now let's see if we can energize and lift the whole body. For this, we'll dig the back of the foot, push the heel into the ground as you keep your shoulders resting down. On an inhale, lift your hips, lift your belly, push down and reach your maximum, and exhale. A little bit more, release. And then we'll see how concentrated we can get with feeling and breath. So on an inhale, we're going to begin to squeeze all of the muscles of your body. Squeeze your fists, your feet, squeeze all the muscles in your face. You can even squeeze your shoulders up close to your ears. Squeeze any muscle you can feel, and then exhale and release. all squeezing everywhere. And see if in your next exhale, you can release even more. And finally, we want to see if we can leave the body with a feeling of lightness, of openness, and breathing. And again, we'll use our seat to push down into the ground as support. But on an inhale, you can begin to lift your lower body, upper body, and reach out in all directions, even opening your eyes, stick out your tongue, look above your head, exhale, and release all tension everywhere. On your next exhale, allow your whole body to soften down a little bit more into the ground. And then once again, notice anything you can notice, and just feel what you feel. Especially noticing any changes, any new sensations you might not have noticed before. And then noticing again the rise and fall of your breathing. Now we're going to see if we can begin to lengthen the breath and also let the length match the length of every breath out. So we're going to emphasize the exhales here. On your next inhale, breathing in just a little bit more. A gentle pause, and on your exhale, fully releasing with each exhale. Take your time, there's no rush. Just naturally, spontaneously, let the breath become a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, fuller. And then rest your full attention in the exhales. You really take the time to get all of the old air out. You might even squeeze your navel into the body, contracting the lower abdominals to get the last air out. And then we'll continue with 5 more of these long and smooth, full, and yet easy breaths in, no stress. And with your exhales, being really interested, perhaps a little bit more slow and patient to observe the complete breath out. And if you haven't already, simply return to your natural breathing and begin to wake up your physical body, making any small movements that feel nice. You can also wiggle or stretch, move in any way that feels good, and then bend your knees and give yourself a big hug, and just rocking side to side a bit. A gentle massage, a little bit of pressure on the back. And also you can rock up and down. Just be careful not to put any pressure on your neck. You never want to put any heavy weight there when we're on the ground. And you can simply come back to your back and roll to the side, or come up and then into a comfortable seat. We're going to do a couple rounds of a breathing exercise today called kapalabhati. For me, I find I can sit a little bit more stably, a little more easily when I sit in a cross-legged position, if my hips are at the height of my knees, or if the knees are even closer than that to the floor. Most importantly, sit comfortably for you. So it could be even sitting up on a chair today or using any support that you need. We want to have a really stable position for the lower body. So for the legs, through the hips, so that we can lift the spine and do really full and powerful breaths here. So kapalabhati is known as the shining skull breath. It's a very activating breath, and it increases the awareness of the upward flow of energy from our lowest energy centers to the highest ones. So the skull literally becoming enlightened and energy flow promoted there. And so you can kind of imagine this is an active exhale breath. You could imagine that you wanted to blow out a candle that's about a foot, maybe a full arm length away from you. And you're going to do this by squeezing your navel in every time you breathe out. We'll do this through the nose, but I'll show you through the mouth first, if you're new to this, so you can kind of get a feeling for what it sounds like, and also notice what it should feel like or look like in the upper body, rather stable. So you breathe into a comfortable amount, and imagine blowing out that candle again and again. So you want to be, again, as easy in your seat, very stable, even though there's a lot of activity, a strong pumping inward every time you breathe out. And please listen to your body and follow the rhythm that feels best for you. We'll breathe in a full inhale to prepare, and then again, exhale completely, emptying the lungs, squeezing that belly in. Inhale comfortably and begin. Out, 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 out. On your last exhale, squeeze all the air out and hold your lungs empty for as long as feels comfortable in your body. So if it's already difficult, it's too long, release and breathe easily, naturally. And if you're still holding, release any holding and fill your lungs up again smoothly. And again, notice how you feel. And do one more round, traditionally building a little bit more intensity, a little bit more warmth, and also speed. But again, it's most useful and it's most important to follow a rhythm that works best for you, so where you don't feel like you are causing yourself any stress with your breath. Instead, fill up the lungs fully, a maximum comfortable fullness, and then exhale again completely. And this time I'm going to do the breathing with you. Inhale comfortably and begin. Hold your lungs empty for as long as feels comfortable in your body, squeezing the navel in. And then before it becomes uncomfortable, release any holding and fill the lungs naturally. And again, a gentle pause with full lungs. Rest your attention at one spot in the body, perhaps at the bottom of the spine, center of your heart, or maybe even the center of your head. And if you haven't already, release any holding and breathe naturally. One more time, taking a moment to just notice and feel. And then I invite you to set an intention for your practice today, connecting inwards with compassion and really honoring whatever it is that you have felt. And perhaps setting an intention to promote that which you need, that which you would like to offer of yourself and to yourself and to the world. For me, many days my intention is simply to connect in this body, in this moment, in this breath. And holding on to that intention, you can uncross the legs, move away any props you have, and then come into hands and knees pose. You can also use a blanket here underneath the knees or fold your mat if you notice any discomfort in the knees. We'll start with just a couple of cat and cow poses in alignment with your breath. So as you inhale, let your belly hang low. Just imagine like the cow, the udders, nice and soft. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in. As you pull your tail down, the chin drops to the chest. On the inhale, your tailbone reaches back and up as you look up. And as you exhale, let the chin reach in as you pull your navel up towards your back. Sometimes nice to do this with the eyes closed to draw the awareness again more internally, noticing how this movement moves with your breath, how it's there to support your breathing, and how it also will change how you're feeling. And then just for a little opening in the sides, we can come to neutral and then exhale. Squeeze your shoulder towards your hip and your hip towards your shoulder. Inhale, get long in the spine. And exhale, squeeze the second side. Tuck your toes into the mat, activating your center, the navel pulling in. Inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale. Step back into downward facing dog, feeling free to move here, to walk the dog. Taking a nice stretch in the back of the leg by bending one knee and stretching the other heel back and down. Perhaps moving one or two more times with the breath and then coming to a nice stable position. And again, just settling in. Noticing what you notice. Bend your knees a little bit more and look between your hands as we walk forward, or maybe you already feel like hopping forward, stepping forward into a forward bend. Notice your feet are right under your knees, and so two of your fists will fit nicely between the big toes and the space right behind them. And you can let the head hang heavy for a moment, but try to keep your hands resting on the ground at first, always being easy in your knees, so never locking your knees anytime we're standing. Then maybe it feels even good to grab your elbows and let your head hang heavy, your neck be long as you just move a little bit spontaneously, whatever feels nice. Now we'll come up as slowly as you can. On an inhale, begin to unroll one vertebra at a time. Really let your head and your neck remain heavy. So they're the last thing to come up. And just adjust a little bit. As you come to the front of your mat, we're going to prepare for a classic warm-up for the breath and body. A series of Surya Namaskar, so sun salutations. So we'll start real traditional and add some modifications, but you can always modify what you need to, or also pause and take a break, coming back into any resting position. So we're standing tall at the front of the mat in mountain pose. On an inhale, the arms by the sides, and exhale, hands to the center of your heart. Inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, bend from your hips, forward bend. On an inhale, we'll come up halfway. And exhale, step the right leg back. Pause here for a breath. Get long in your back by turning on your legs. And then exhale, step the front leg back to plank. If this is too much, feel free to come down onto your knees. And then if you haven't already, for your first chaturanga, try coming down to the knees first and then lower yourself down onto the chest and then the chin. Keep your arms by your sides. Point your toes back and activate your feet into the floor. Inhale, coming forward and up, a gentle cobra pose. And on an exhale, pushing back and up to downward facing dog. We'll pause again for a breath here. And on an inhale, step that right leg up. And exhale, step it forward. In this lunge pose, see if you can bring your legs a little closer to each other. The front leg pulling back, the back leg pulling forward into the body. And then exhale, step forward, forward bend. Inhale, coming up halfway again. Lengthen the back, strengthen the belly. Exhale, forward bend. And on an inhale, you then can roll up if that feels best for you. You can also start to lift your back, activating the legs, and then exhale back where we started. In and out to your center. Inhale, use the strength of your legs for a nice stretch in the back. Exhale, fold from the hips and bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, the left leg steps back. Take that pause again this time through, and anytime when you need it. On your next exhale, back into chaturanga, pushing back through both of your feet as you reach your heart forward, your head forward, but your shoulders back. And then exhale, perhaps lowering onto the knees. Above all, we want to feel stability in the shoulders as I lower down. Inhale, maybe just a baby cobra still, depending on what you're feeling. You definitely don't want to feel any pain in the lower back. Exhale, chin to the chest, and lift your hips, downward dog. Evening out, smooth, full breaths. And on an inhale, lifting the left leg up. And exhale, stepping it forward. If you need to, use your hands to get it all the way forward between your hands. And then activate the legs again a bit more into the body. Exhale, step forward, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up, shoulders back, tail back, and then exhale all the way forward bend. Inhale, coming up with one breath. And exhaling, settling down for at least a breath. And go round two, in and out. Inhale, activate legs, lengthen the back. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana, forward bend. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, so halfway up from that forward bend. And then exhale the right leg back again. We'll still have that breath in this round one more time. And this time the option to bring the front foot and keep it floating for a one-legged plank. Inhale, get long through your whole body, one line of energy. And then exhale, chaturanga, slowly take it down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Another breath here. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Reach length through the back, and exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, a little easier in that forward bend. Rise up, one breath. Exhale, find a little stillness, and your breath. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, open up find your length. Exhale, settle in to your strength. On your next exhale, option again for one-legged plank. On the exhale, chaturanga. On the inhale, bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, ardha mukha svanasana, the down dog. And a breath. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. On your exhale, uttanasana, forward bend. One more time, halfway up. Exhale, all the way, easy. Inhale. And exhale. So option to continue as you were before, or you can also add a little chair pose here at the beginning. Instead of coming all the way up into the back bend, activate your legs, lift your heart, and then exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale the right leg back. This time, you can continue and hold your lunge, or just take a couple dynamic stretches here. So we're opening up the front side of the back leg, and always keeping that front knee in alignment with your toes. So it really follows the middle line of the foot. You can always see that big toe in the front foot. Keep your hands on your hips for balance, or out in front, out wide, or even reaching up. And then settle in for a breath, and we'll exhale, fold hands through the center, place them by your foot. Option for that one-legged plank, or both. And now if you like to add Bhastrika breath, rapid inhale and exhale through the nose. Exhale, chaturanga, and release. Inhale, cobra, or if you're feeling a little bit more, maybe upward dog, bringing the hands closer to your hips. Just keep your shoulders down away from your ears, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. We'll still settle into a breath for this transition, and then mixing it up here, we'll inhale the right leg up. Exhale, so far the same, step it forward, but now drop your back foot down to the ground. Classically, the feet are in one line, but if that feels too constraining, you can open that back foot out a bit as we inhale, come up for warrior one. So in warrior one, again, that front knee is in that same alignment as before, middle of the foot, but the back foot now is turned out more or less in the direction of the front corner of your mat. But again, you might need to place that foot wherever you can so that you can bring both hips in the forward direction. Belly in, heart up. And then exhale, hands down, either by your foot or perhaps onto your shin if you don't reach the ground. We're going to bring that back foot in about halfway and lengthen the whole back with both legs extended, both legs long. Activate your belly, and then exhale, fold forward over the standing front leg, pushing the heel of the back foot a little bit more into the ground. Again, classically, the legs are long, but you can always bend the front knee a little bit if you need. And then we'll bend the knee to release and step forward, coming halfway up. And then exhale, folding all the way forward, forward bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, settle down. In and out, option to start a little lower in your chair pose or reach up. And then exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Inhale halfway. Exhale the left leg back. You can always stay here in your low lunge or come up. Notice your balance. Notice some wobbling. That can be good, and we can add a little bit of dynamic movement here, just bending that front knee. And opening up the front side of the back leg. Those hip flexors get real tight, especially when we're sitting a lot. Wherever you are, come into that high lunge for a breath. And then exhale, hands through the center by your front foot. Option for that one-legged plank, and option for Bhastrika breath. Exhale, Chaturanga. Release. Inhale, Cobra or Upward Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. On your next inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward. Drop the back heel down. Bring that back foot so it's angling forward about 45 degrees. But that front knee is directly over that front heel, middle of your foot. Both hips squaring forward. You can always bring your arms up if you like. Sometimes nice to bend the elbows, put them where the head and neck meet, and relax your shoulders a little bit more down into the body. Lengthen your neck on all sides, maybe reach the fingertips up, reach them out. And then coming through center, we're going to step forward and we're going to bend over that front leg. Lengthen both of your legs as you lengthen your back. And on an exhale, fold over the long front leg. Hands can rest on the leg or on the ground. And again, try to use the back foot, the back side and the heel to push down a little bit more. See how that feels for the length of your back. Bend the knee gently to step forward and come halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Whew, nice. Come on up, inhale. And then exhale. We're going to do that all together one more time. Now moving in approximately one movement, one breath. Inhaling to activate and open. Exhaling, releasing, easy. Inhale, step that right leg back, coming on up. Exhale, coming down, finding stability. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale the right leg. And exhale forward. Inhale, rising up. Reach up. And exhale, finding your position and folding forward. Allowing yourself to just settle in. Inhale, bend the knee, step out. And exhale, fully release. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Reconnecting inward, remembering that feeling that you started with. And when it feels good, when you feel reconnected to your breath, continuing. And breathing easy. Exhale. Find that balance, find that stillness. And then see if you can soften any hardness you don't need. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left. And exhale, step it forward. Back foot down. Inhale. Rise up. Warrior one. Hands through the center as you exhale, stepping forward into the pyramid. Long leg, forward bend. Inhale, coming halfway up. And exhale, soften. Inhale. And exhale, standing tall in your mountain pose. Your feet could be underneath your hips or standing together. Just stand tall again and notice how you feel. Especially notice the warmth you've built up. Noticing any changes in your breathing. And again, tuning inwards, perhaps noticing your heartbeat. When you notice your heart and breath have settled down to their natural, easy rhythm, but we still have a little bit of that warmth, that's ideal to go on. So when you're ready, we're going to come into tree pose and a couple of peak poses today. So one option for tree is you bring your non-standing leg and rest the heel against the inside of the lower leg. That's option one. Or you can bring the foot all the way off of the ground and rest it below the knee. Or classically, you can bring the foot above the knee, but never push against your knee to the side, or really at all. Wherever you find, notice your hips here, again, squared or more or less parallel. And if you like, you can cross your wrists and bring the inside of your hands to touch. On an inhale, reaching the arms up, opening your shoulders with the breath. And then exhale, releasing your hands back down, Fountain of Youth. One more time for good luck. Inhaling, opening, lengthening, whoa. And exhale, settling in. And then bring your leg into your body. Hop for this next one, or just step. Then we're going to bring the lifted leg back into the airplane, version of Warrior 3. So your standing leg, still very stable. Reach long through your whole spine, and then exhale, fold over your standing leg. And then exhale, release that back foot down, and stay up on your fingertips. Exhale, back to downward dog, option on your fingertips. Inhale the other leg forward, and exhale, step it back. Inhale, lunging, and exhale, down dogging. Let's do that a couple more times on each side. It's called a lunge kriya. So kriyas are a warming and cleansing action here. Really nice for developing some fluidity and ease in the hips. And then settle down. Next time you come back to down dog. On an inhale, come forward to plank. And then exhale, chaturanga. Release all the way down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to bring that same standing leg we were working with forward. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, step it forward. Dropping that back foot down again for one more, Warrior 1. Reaching up, hips forward. And this time, bring your arms behind your back. Notice which thumb is on top. Lengthen your whole spine here, bringing that front knee again directly over the heel. The back heel burrowing down as you exhale, fold forward over that front leg, perhaps dropping your head to the inside of your shin. Keep the shoulders far from your ears as you play with, moving your arms closer to the back of the head. Inhale with your arms interlaced, hands interlaced, rise up. And then we'll take that into that pyramid, standing forward bend. Both leg long, lengthen your back. Exhale, folding over that front leg. Doesn't matter how far. Stay long in your back, deep in your breath, and feel. Then go ahead and release the hands, bend the knee to step halfway or all the way forward and halfway up, and then exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, settle in. Notice how you feel, especially in your legs, in your back, in your breath. So I have the second side here. I'm going to slowly bring the non-standing leg to the inside of the standing leg, resting with one toe on the ground, maybe two. Second option, to have the foot below the knee, or perhaps even above the knee on the inside of the thigh. Both legs are still active here. Imagine your roots reaching down into the ground as your lifted leg glues, becomes stable and still. Option to cross your hands, cross your wrists, hands together. Use the other wrist on top and then inhale, open it up. Exhale, Chyan Mudra, the thumb and first finger touching. One more time. Inhaling, opening through the shoulders. Ooh, wobbling is good. And then exhale, softening, releasing. And then bring that lifted leg into the body, lengthen your tail down, and then exhale, bring the leg back for the airplane version of Warrior 3. Pull the belly in as you lengthen the whole spine. And then exhale, fold over that standing leg. Let it go. Set the back leg down. And you'll have that option to come onto your fingertips again for these lunge kriyas. One more time. This time, if you like, and only if it works for your breath and what you're feeling, you have the option to take them jumping. In which case, as you exhale, try to jump as lightly as you can land. On your next exhale, step back into down dog. Plant your hands. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Release. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra or up dog. This time, stick out your tongue as you breathe out. Lion's breath. One more time. Inhale, lifting your heart, lifting your head. Exhale. Releasing down and coming back to downward facing dog. Find your pose. And when you're ready, that standing leg for your tree becomes the forward leg for one more time, Warrior 1. Front knee over the front heel as we this time interlace the opposite finger, so opposite thumb on top, shoulders in the back. Exhale, bring your upper body right over that front leg, perhaps resting the head down on the inside of the shin. Keep those shoulders in the back as you bend your elbows. See if you can pull them apart a little bit more. Bringing your hands a little bit closer to the back of the head, and then activate your center. Push down through that back foot as you reach up and step forward. Parsvottanasana, standing pyramid, forward bend. Exhaling over the long front leg. Pushing that back foot a little bit more down in the back of the foot. And then releasing the hands. Come forward, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Rise up, reach up. Lift your heart up. And exhale, stand tall in your mountain. Feel that. And be with your breath. So wherever you are, we're going to go ahead and come into a little chair pose. So you have the option to keep the legs together or keep them hip distance apart, but wherever you are, make sure your knees follow the center line of your foot. Come back to the front of my mat if you're not already. Sit a little deeper in your chair as you pull the belly in, lift your heart up. And now come onto the balls and the toes of your feet. And we're going to slowly sit all the way down, flexing the knees, maybe even turning the knees out to the side. And if you like, just trust yourself into this little fall or use your hands. Great. So we're going to come into Navasana, boat pose from here. Start maybe with your hands on the ground for support or right behind the pit of your knee. Lift your heart as you lengthen your back. So don't round your lower back. Get long. And breathe deep. On an inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift the left leg. And exhale, bend the knee. Keep moving like this 2 more times in rhythm with your breath. You always can add more support with the hands, especially if you start to feel like you're getting small or round in your back. Instead, lift your heart up, lengthen your back a bit more. Option to bring that first leg up with the second one, and then exhale, bend the knees, and hug it in. Forehead dropping between your knees. Wonderful. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with this. We're gonna roll all the way just back and down like we started. Starting our cool down phase of today's class, but still full attention on the breath. Again, taking a moment to just notice and feel. So you want to notice your feet underneath your knees, directly under your knees. So your knees are parallel to each other, and sometimes nice to grab the seat for a little more length in the lower back. And then go ahead and bend your elbows so your hands are above your elbows, and the back of your shoulders, the back of your head in the ground. So you come up into bridge pose. Inhale, push down through the feet and the back of the arms, so make sure your neck free from pressure. If you like, you can grab your arms, grab your hands behind the back, reach the shoulders down a little more. Now walk your feet into the middle, so your feet are touching, big toes touching, and the knees. And then bend your right knee into the body. As you inhale, reach the belly in and lift your foot up. Exhale, bend the leg, bring it back down, and slowly roll down. If you like, you can stay on your arms here. But if that doesn't feel good, just release your arms by the side. This can be a pretty big stretch and opener in the front of your breast area, shoulder area, and the collarbone. And then when you're ready, we're going to plant the feet back down. Inhale, push down to lift up. If your feet are not touching, walk them back to the center. Bend the left knee and inhale, reach the foot up. Feel everything that's touching the ground, pushing down to lift you up. And then exhale, release. The option to rest your upper body on the arms again, or just release the arms by your side. And another option this time to bring the bottom of your feet, the soles of your feet together, touching in Baddha Konasana, the cobbler's feet here. But anytime this feels difficult, you feel you need a little support, use your arms on the outside of your legs. On an inhale, bring the knees back up, feet to the ground. And one more time, inhale, push down to lift up into your bridge. Then I want to bring our feet back to hip distance. So now I'll use my arms to measure and make sure I can feel the back of my heel. That means the foot is right under the knee. Knees are parallel. Shoulders reaching down. I can take the robot arms for a little more support. And this time I'm going to bring the right foot up
I'll show you on the other side though. So bringing the foot up and flex the ankle so you can grab the outside of the other knee. And now you're lifting the knee up, or sorry, knee is going down as your hip, your inner groin lifts up. And then exhale back into your bridge. Other side, inhale, lift the knee, flex the foot. And now you're lowering the knee as you lift your inner groin, inner thigh up. Plant the foot back down, and if you haven't already, release the arms wide, and slowly, vertebra by vertebra, roll all the way down. Option to take Baddha Konasana feet again, the soles of the feet touching. And you could also hold the outside of your legs if you feel any strain in the groin. Also nice to put one hand on the belly here, one hand on the heart. A nice physical reminder to reconnect. And when you're ready, bring your hands to the outside of the legs and help your legs up. And we're gonna roll and come up into hands and knees one more time. And here's where I really recommend a block or a bolster, some big pillow, or even a blanket that you can roll up, especially if you have any knee issues, any sensitivity around the knee. You might want to sit up on something, and this is going to go in between your feet as you come to hands and knees. So when you're in hands and knees, bring the knees together, and then we're going to bring the right knee in front of the left. Now I have to move my feet and open them, so my feet are on the outside of where I'm going to sit. And then just slowly walk yourself back, and then you can come to sit down on the ground or on your support. This should not cause any distress, no pain in the knees. So use any height you need, and make sure again your seat has a firm support on both of your sitting bones. You might even use your hands to open the flesh, pull the bones a little bit wider apart so you can sit up a little bit easier. Activating your feet a little bit and lifting your heart. Reconnect to your breath. We're going to take alternate nostril breathing here. It might help to show you from the front. So we're here in basically eagle legs, and it's called cow pose, Gomukhasana. But if this becomes difficult for you, or if it's better for you, you could also lengthen that lower leg out if that sits a little easier. So we're going to use the right hand to block the nostrils off. You make a peace sign and then fold it into your hand. And you're going to use the thumb and the ring finger to close the sides of your nose. So breathe in through both sides of the nose. And breathe out through both sides. Inhale through the left side of your nose, closing the right. Pausing. And then exhale, breathe out the right side, smoothly, slowly, and relax. Breathe all the breath. Inhale through the open side, through the right side, and then pause. Before it becomes difficult, exhale, open to the second side, and release the breath out the left. Quietly, softly, relaxed. So continue like this. That's one round. So you breathe in through the side that's already open, wherever you are, and then pause. Exhale, switch to the other side, and release the breath out, taking at least as much time, if not twice as long, as you did for the inhale. Release. Inhale, smoothly, continuously, above all easy and full. And the pause is just that. It's just a pause. And then exhale,
And here again, we are stretching the breath, lengthening the breath, but above all, just being with the breath, no stress. And do one more round like that in your rhythm. And the next time you breathe out the left side of your nose completely, you can release this practice. We're going to lean back to release the knees and come down to the ground. And again, option to bring the feet together. You might need to be farther away or a little bit closer to your seat. We're going to grab the outside of your knees and maybe even into the knee pit as you cross your arms. Lift your heart, reach your back up, and then exhale, fold forward. Nice opener for the back of the shoulders. And then we're going to come back in one more time, same way you got out. So cross your ankles, come onto hands and knees. And again, have something in between your feet. This time we bring the knees together and the left knee in front. So getting into our eagle legs, we'll open the feet wide and slowly, and very mindfully of your knees and what you're feeling, come down into a stable seat. So both of your sitting bones reaching down. Feels good. So that you can lift your entire spine, feeling its natural length. And feel your breath. So we're going to take Vishnu Mudra again here, with the thumb and the ring finger to close the sides of the nose. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through both sides, and close the right side. Inhaling for 2, 3, maybe 4, and pausing. And then exhaling for at least that same 4 count, or perhaps even twice as long, really stretching your exhalation. Continue to inhale smoothly and easily, pausing. And exhale softly, quietly, a little bit more relaxed with each breath. Release. And continue like this in your rhythm. Just a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing, known as Nadi Shodhana, the cleansing of the nadis or the energy channels in the body. This alternate nostril breathing is really amazing for a lot of conditions. It brings an overall sense of harmony, both physically, energetically. It also is really good at reducing anxiety and even preventing all kinds of distress disorders. And the next time that you breathe out the left side of your nose, you can release this practice. And then we'll release our seat using your hands for support. Lean back, free up the legs, and then one more time, we'll grab the outsides of the knees. If you can remember, cross your arms the opposite way this time. Reaching the finger into the knee pit, lift your heart, and exhale, soften forward, breathe deep. Job. Okay, so we're right here at the final pose. We might just take one last forward bend to even everything out, maybe wiggling the legs, balancing your seat. Now both of your legs are long and the feet active as we lift the seat up. Just place your hands by your legs. And keeping your back as long as you can, slowly come forward. Keep the feet active, feet parallel.
and soften. So there's no forcing in this forward bend. Wherever your hands reach is where they reach. If that's the feet, that's great. If that stays on the floor, wonderful. Keep those legs active. And those of you who are really flexible in the hamstrings, the back of the leg, see if you can activate the front of the leg, the quad muscles, a little bit more. Your knees pulling up into the body, your sitting bones reaching back and down. As you lift your heart a little bit more, see if you can soften into your forward bend. We'll come out with a little bit of core support, so pull the belly in as you walk your way up and out. And again, feel free to move, to wiggle, stretch, any way that feels good. We'll come down for the most important pose. Come down to rest on your back of the head, right in the center line of you. Your knees can stay up, bending the knees or even resting the knees on each other. If your back feels perfectly fine, then just stretch your legs out one at a time. So we're not looking for perfection here at the end of a practice, just a comfortable pose. That's why it's called yoga practice, not yoga perfection. But if you notice something that is uncomfortable, you can make any of those necessary adjustments or use any support you need so that you can eventually just let go of everything you don't need, letting go of unnecessary movement, and turning your attention inwards again, noticing again what you notice, and simply feeling what you feel. Once you've noticed that, just allow your attention to rest in the rise and fall of your natural breathing. If your mind should wander, that's okay. Perfectly normal. Anytime you become distracted, simply notice what has distracted you. As soon as you notice that, see if you can let it go with your breath. Turn your attention again to your breathing. With every exhalation, settling in a little easier. And if you've got the time, see if you can stay a while. Allow the benefits of your deep relaxation to deepen, to internalize. And when it's time, and when you feel ready, slowly begin to deepen your breathing.
When it feels right, start to move your body again, making small movements. Let these small movements naturally become bigger, perhaps reaching your whole body and taking one more luxurious stretch. And a deep breath. Bending your knees to hug your legs into your body. And then simply rolling to your side, pausing for a moment. Finally, help yourself up into one last comfortable, stable seat. Taking a moment at the end of your practice to notice the overall effects. And taking the time at the end of the practice for gratitude, really nice way. Say thank you to this body that allows us to move. Thank you to this breath, the giver of life. Thank you to our awareness for allowing us to experience it all. Thank you for being here and for sharing your practice. Namaste.